Stephen Mallik is joining us for The Future of AI and Chat for the Enterprise. Stephen is a successful technology entrepreneur who previously co-founded and exited a company in the business process outsourcing industry. Additionally, he is also an IT industry veteran with a career spanning 20 years, having worked for large corporations like Citibank, Sprint, BP, AT&T, and T-Mobile. He has hands-on experience with startups as a seed investor and CTO, and is an expert in natural language processing, natural language understanding, among other AI learning methods.
Today's topic is about the future of voice, and you are actually seeing this live, that how voice is actually helping me present, right? So I have other use cases that I want to share as well, but before I go there, I want to start with a question. The question is, we use keyboard, mouse, and touch to interact with softwares, and we are so used to that, and that's how we do that. But we never think about voice as a possible and a viable user interface to interact with software. I know we do interact with software. Previous slide. So it is going based on cues. So it picked up on one of the words I shouldn't be saying, and that's why I moved on. But I have full control. I can go to any slide I want as and I can navigate this fully with voice. But anyway, so coming back to the presentation. So the reason voice is actually one of the most common and natural ways for humans to interact, but we still do not use voice. To actually answer this question, or before I answer this question, I want to look at some facts about our previous interface, which is the touch interface, right? If you take a look at touch interface, it was not available or was not an option even just 10 years back, right? But then everything has changed suddenly, and right now majority or pretty much every software is touch enabled. And the important thing to look here is we really don't specify if an app needs to be touch enabled when you actually build or create an app. We just assume that if the device has the capability, then we assume that, okay, hey, the software has to automatically work. We do not specify with a button that works when you click a mouse or keyboard should also work for a touch event, right? You really don't think that way. You're just assuming that it is going to work if the device is touch activated. It's more on the device. Can the device let you touch or not, right? So now let's draw the comparison for voice, right? So if you look at voice, pretty much every device has a mic and a speaker now, a laptop, a phone, an iPad, or stuff like that. But we still are not really using that to interact with software, right? We do use some parts, on the Siri side, but you don't do it for when you do your you don't talk to your banking application on a regular basis, nor the let's say e-commerce experience, anything like that. So the reason I think is because of availability of tools, right? So a tool can change everything, right? I can give example of from Stone Age to Bronze Age to Iron Age. So when a tool is available, usually a transformation starts or begins, right? So So are we in a start of a transformation? So as long as there are no tools to create voice interfaces, that will not happen. But we are seeing that tools are starting to be available via technologies like text-to-speech and natural language processing and natural language understanding. So when you combine these things like text-to-speech, and speech-to-text, natural language understanding, natural language processing, this becomes possible, and there are tools that are starting to appear. RD is one of the tools, right? And the prediction I'm making is in the next 4 years, this would rapidly increase, and the number of availability of tools as well as the transformation will begin along with that. And in about 4 years, voice should be a commonplace and more of an expected thing, meaning the transformation would have happened, right? Today, if babies expect that they have to touch swipe things on a device, and they kind of expect it even if it's not a device, right? And they're confused if it doesn't do it, right? Because they are born with the iPad generation, right? So I believe after 4 years, babies would be confused if they are not able to talk to a device and it's not able to respond and take care of whatever they want to trying to achieve. So that is my prediction, because we are in that space and we start seeing a lot of tools, and tools usually start the transformation, right? Now let's talk about RD. It is a platform to create device agnostic voice activated software. So by voice activated software, we mean, imagine Alexa inside your website or app to do your banking, e-commerce, and all that. So you're not talking to a specific speaker, but your laptop, like I am talking to my laptop, and it is able to bring up the slides as I'm talking about something, because it's listening to me and doing the job for me, right? It's acting like a helper. This is one functionality, but e-commerce is another, website is another. I'm going to share some of those things with you. So this is one of the tools, and I'm excited about the voice because as tools like us appear, this transformation will soon begin, right? So I'm actually done on the presentation side. So what I'm going to do is show some examples so you are able to experience what to expect in the future, what voice is really practically useful for, and all that, right? Close presentation 1.
Okay. Closing presentation one. Thank you for using voice slides by Artie.
Sorry about the echo. Silent mode on. I got to say that, otherwise it is the default mode is dev mode, and it assumes that everything is, you're talking to it. That's the only system there. So anyway, before I actually start showing some possible solutions, I want to actually run an intro video. Play intro video.
What is voice intelligence? For decades, we have used not-so-natural solutions like keyboard, mouse, and touch to interact with software. While the most natural, common, and intuitive form of communication for a human has always been using voice. Voice intelligence refers to the natural form of interaction with software and devices using voice. Imagine using voice to interact with your e-commerce application, IoT applications, and your mobile applications. Voice intelligence could revolutionize how we interact with software. Artie, is a tool for developers to develop voice-intelligent applications. RT is a complete tool to build an end-to-end voice intelligence solution for many platforms like cloud and mobile without the need for smart speakers like Alexa and Google Home. Please check out the website to learn more about RT.
So that was a good introduction about RT and what voice can do, right? And so far we have seen that voice is a good interface to help with with your presentation. I was able to do everything hands-free, including presenting a PowerPoint to running this video. So now let's imagine a scenario where you're inside a store and you want to look up some product on some display device provided in the store, or let's say you are trying to shop when you're using your phone or in your browser in your laptop. How can you use voice practically to help? How voice can help there, right? So what we have done is created a solution using some sports data, and I'm going to show you a shopping experience using shoes. So I'm going to say a really long sentence to actually just show the demo. Let me do that. Show me all the pink color shoes priced less than $200.
Details are below.
Running only.
Please find the details.
Remove color.
Details are below.
Delete sports.
Here are the details.
Ladies only.
Details are below.
So you get the idea. You could use whatever way to ask for what you want. And if you noticed, I can ask any question based on the search criteria like sports, product type, gender, color, and whatever is the current search filter appears here. And the interface need not be this way. We just created it this way. So the point is it is able to respond to you and provide the information you ask. If it is an in-store, you could then say where to find it. I would like to try it and all that. Or on a mobile device, you want to add it to a shopping cart and then proceed to go buy it, right? So this is real e-commerce, voice-based e-commerce. Probably the first one so far. I have not seen something like this before. But it's coming. That's the point. It is the technologies here, implementations are possible if the tools are available, and we are one such tool. So I've shown you how voice can help with presentation, and I showed you how voice can improve your e-commerce, browsing, shopping experience. Now, let's look at something else. I'm going to our website. So our website is voice capable. Imagine ADA compliance or people who have partially blind and maybe even fully blind. How do you help them? But that's not the only reason. There are many cases where voice could be a better option rather than doing a touch. Touch has its own space, keyboard has its own use, but voice also has its advantages. So this is a fully active website, and I can fully browse this website using voice. Let me do some demonstration first. Introduce RT.
AT&T is a platform for developing voice-intelligent applications. For an example voice-intelligent application, please watch the video. AT&T has all the technology layers to create a end-to-end voice-enabled application solution, like natural language database, cognitive middleware, single code multi-device user interface.
So let me actually play this video. So now what we have seen a website in action. Now let's see a banking app. So that's what this video is about. Let me play that. Play video. Please play video.
Today we're going to look at a simple IVR example of a user trying to view his bank account information. I will be having a conversation with my browser for that. Here we go. I would like to see my bank account details.
Please provide your username and password.
Okay.
Here is the bank account summary.
Show me the checking account details.
Here is the details of your checking account.
Did John's check clear?
The last check cleared by John was 2 days back.
Show me all the checks to John in the last 6 months.
Here is the details of John's check clear history for last 6 months.
Okay, thank you. Log out now.
Successfully logged out.
That concludes the demo. Thank you.
So this demo was more for accessing a bank and all that. That's something you can imagine. But one of the things I wanted to mention is these kind of projects, whatever you saw, is not anymore, in my mind, or at least using our tool, is not more of advanced or R&D intensive, because all you need to do is now provide the requirements, and you can take any normal software engineer and give it to him, and he would be able to use this tool, RD tool, and be able to create such solutions. So that is important because you would have seen projects like this in Bank of America and all that. They did not use such tools, but they use their own R&D stuff. They have the muscle to do that, and that is really highly cutting edge project in their mind, right? And because of the unavailability of tools, they have to do it. So now for smaller players, what is the option? Pretty much nothing. So that is why the availability of a tool actually is very important, and it is helpful to actually create the transformation. So the more tools like us evolve, so that will cut down on the complexity and that the need for R&D or making it look like a cutting edge project is not needed. So the failure rate would go down, and that is how the transformation would actually get started. So let me show you a few more tricks. I can actually change the accent. Change accent to British English.
Okay, accent changed to British English.
Change accent to Indian English.
Okay, accent changed to Indian English.
So I'm from South India, so my accent would sound something like that, but on the male side. So yeah, so these are some of the things we could do. I want to finish this conversation by showing 2 more examples. And let me shut this off. And yeah, this one is an example of a kiosk. And imagine any kiosk.
Start a new survey.
You can respond using your voice.
I think it can be improved. It was good. Yes. Excellent. I liked the service. It was good overall. I am done.
So this could have been
Start.
an experience where, to check in yourself in an airport on a kiosk, and especially when you have to type in things, touch is actually good for answering single line questions, but then you have to type voice. That's where voice comes in. So the interface is not restricting you for voice. You can interchangeably use both voice, touch, and keyboard mouse. So that's the big thing here. I want to finish this with this last example on how our technology can actually help with Alexa and the Google Home experience.
So, open RT Labs.
Welcome to RT Labs, a natural language understanding platform for developers.
Introduce RT.
RT is a natural language understanding tool for developing voice intelligent applications. RT is a complete development platform for developers to generate the full application end-to-end. RT comprises of 3 distinct layers: natural language database, cognitive middleware, multi-device adaptive user interface. RT is enterprise class, and at the same time lightweight and embeddable. In fact, this presentation is generated by RE.
Goodbye, RT.
Goodbye. This application is powered by RT.
Okay, Google, talk to RT Labs.
Alright, getting a test version of RT Labs. Welcome to RT Labs, a natural language understanding platform for developers.
Play splash video.
Okay.
Goodbye. Now let's turn on the mic in one of the devices and ask a question. Explain this demo.
Using RT, developers can create turnkey, enterprise software solutions that includes the front end, middleware logic, and database design. And this solution will work natively in all devices. We just demonstrated a very powerful feature by placing your mobile and tablet devices next to these speaker devices. We can automatically make them their display device. This makes the speaker-specific display devices from Google Home and Amazon Echo pointless. Why would we need them anymore?
Please stop listening.
Done.
So with that, I would like to conclude my presentation. I'm not including the IoT part unless someone wants it. I do have an example to show how voice can help with IoT, but that's more of a lab grade. So it does show the capabilities, but it doesn't make you think how would you use on an everyday basis, right? So with that, I would stop my presentation here and open the floor for questions if there's any.
Stephen, we do have a question. Can you give us a little bit of insight into what's doing the processing behind the scenes?
Yes, unfortunately, I don't have a slide to show the actual the architecture, but I can explain to you a little bit. Basically, we have built 3 layers. Actually, there's 4 layers, including the network layer, the UI layer that makes it device agnostic, the middleware layer that has the natural language understanding engine, and also a powerful IoT, right? Which handles push and process state management and all that. So, and natural language understanding to whatever is happening. After the voice is translated to natural language, that's what drives the process. And for the database, we have a natural language understanding database. So that helps with scaling and applying our ability to apply to real life use cases like say a shopping cart where the products, there are millions of products. How do you handle them, right? So we have an NLP, natural language processing database, and then on top of it sits the middleware, and then we have the UI that makes things device agnostic, and we also have a pretty advanced network protocol that makes ties everything together. So this is our technology. So go to technology. So this, unfortunately, the picture is small, but you get the idea of the architecture there. There you can access this product using APIs. You can and connect to other system using connectors. There's SDKs to extend the product and all that. So that is a 2-minute introduction to the architecture. So yeah.